Ecclesiastes 5. Vamos a tratar de cubrir hasta 6:9. So Ecclesiastes 5, we're going to try to cover into Ecclesiastes 6, verse 9. Comenzamos la semana pasada y dijimos que Pablo escribió un verso a Timoteo al final de su primera carta, una advertencia en amor. We talked last week, we started this week, it says Paul wrote at the end of his first letter to Timothy this loving warning. Yo creo que el tono de Pablo aquí no es regañarlo, yo creo que él está escribiendo esto con lágrimas. I don't think Paul was here with a harsh tone at all. I think he's writing this in tears for the people in Ephesus. Timoteo era un pastor en la ciudad de Éfeso, que era una ciudad muy rica. Y Pablo había visto el peligro de poner la esperanza en las riquezas. Timothy was a pastor in Ephesus, which was a rich city, and Paul had seen the danger of putting your hope on riches. That's why I think when he wrote this, he was in tears, and he said, 1 Timothy 6:17, él dijo, 1 Timoteo 6:17, a los ricos en este mundo, enséñales, Timoteo, que no sean altaneros ni pongan su esperanza en la incertidumbre de las riquezas, sino en Dios. Instruct those who are rich in this present world, Timothy. Don't forget to instruct them. Not to be conceited or to fix their hope on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who richly supplies us with all things to enjoy. Put your hope on God.
Yes, sir.
You got to. Yo creo que él puso esto al final de la carta para colocarlo fuertemente en la mente de Timoteo. Tú no puedes olvidar esto. I think he put this at the end of the letter to say to Timothy, you can't forget this. Pablo había visto lo que ya sabemos. Que la riqueza es incierta. Posesiones. Cosas aquí en este mundo son inciertas. Paul knew what we all know, that riches and anything else in this world is temporary. It's not certain. Pero más que eso, Pablo sabía que los que tienen un deseo de ser rico se van a desviar del camino de Cristo. Paul also knew, because he had seen it, that if you have a desire for money, you will leave Jesus. 1 Timothy 6:10, same chapter. 1 Timoteo 6:10, mismo capítulo. Porque la raíz de todos los males es el amor al dinero, por el cual, codiciándolo, algunos se extraviaron de la fe y se torturaron con muchos dolores. For the love of money is a root of all sorts of evil, and some by longing for it have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. Y no estamos hablando de un amor por papel verde. Estamos hablando de un amor por las cosas que el dinero nos puede traer. Poder, comodidad, supuesta seguridad, aprobación del mundo. We're not talking about a love for green bills, or your credit card, or checks. We're talking about whatever money can get you. You love that. Supposed security, comfort, approval, power. Todas estas cosas en este mundo son inciertas porque no duran para siempre y tampoco te sacian ahora. Those things are temporary and uncertain because they don't last forever unto eternity, and they also don't even satisfy you now. Y para amar estas cosas, la única certeza que tú tienes es perdición. No hay nada cierto sino la perdición. The only thing certain you have, if you love what money will get you, is certain death. That's the only certainty you have in your life. 1 Timothy 6:9, listen to this. 1 Timoteo 6:9. Porque los que quieren enriquecerse caen en tentación y lazo y en muchos deseos necios y dañosos que hunden a los hombres en la ruina y en la, ¿qué? Perdición. 1 Timothy 6:9. But those who want to get rich fall into a trap, temptation, and a snare, and many foolish and harmful desires which plunge men into ruin and destruction. Escúchame muy bien. Si tú deseas ser rico, tú vas a amar lo que el dinero te puede traer, y en eso tú vas a poner la esperanza en eso y no en Dios, y esa es la definición cierta de un incrédulo. If you desire to be rich, you will love what money can get you, and you will put your hope there. And that is the absolute definition of an unbeliever. I hope in this and not in God. And I think if there is anything that is damning the church in America, that's what it is. Yo creo que Pablo había visto esto de primera mano, obvio. Demas, que estuvo con él por mucho tiempo, eso es lo que él dijo de él. I think Paul had seen this so often that he wrote this to Timothy and he said, you can't forget this. Demas. This is the last. How would you like this to be the last thing written about you in the Bible? Listen to what it says about Demas. Esa es la última cosa escrito acerca de Demas en la Biblia. Demas me ha abandonado, habiendo amado este mundo presente. Demas, having loved this present world, has deserted me. Last thing you ever hear about Demas. He loved the world so much, he left me. The cost was too high. Yo creo que necesitamos hacernos la misma pregunta que hicimos la semana pasada. I think we have to ask ourselves the same question that we asked ourselves last week. Where is our security? ¿Dónde está nuestra seguridad? ¿Es en una persona que está a mi lado? ¿Es en mi cuenta bancaria? ¿Es en mi trabajo? ¿Es en mi casa? ¿Es en mis cosas? Is it in my bank account? If I have more in there, do I feel better about my life? Is it in my house? Is it in my work? Is it in stuff? Is it in another person? Where's our security? I have to think about this a lot. I'm not kidding now. Maybe this is me just being morbid. But I think about what my life would be like if my wife and kids died. Would Jesus be enough? Yo tengo que pensar, ¿qué tal si yo pierdo todo? ¿Es suficiente Jesús? You should think about that. Take your most treasured possession this side of heaven and say, if it's gone, is he enough? Yo creo que si Pablo estuviera aquí, él nos diría, hay que escuchar al sabio. If Paul was here, he would say, you ought to listen to the wise man. Porque tenemos Salomón en Ecclesiastes 5 y 6 diciéndonos la misma cosa. We have Solomon in Ecclesiastes 5 and 6, and he's saying the same thing. Everybody go back to Ecclesiastes 5:10. Mira Ecclesiastes 5:10. El punto aquí en Ecclesiastes 5 hasta 6:9 es una larga sección que tiene que ver con tan fácil es perderlo todo y que es vanidad poner la esperanza en algo de este mundo. Entonces, the whole point of Ecclesiastes 5:1 to 6:9 is to tell you you can lose everything very quickly, so it's vanity to put your hope in it here. Ecclesiastes 5:10, Ecclesiastes 5:10, el que ama el dinero no se saciará de dinero, y el que ama la abundancia no se saciará de ganancias. También esto es vanidad. He who loves money, Ecclesiastes 5:10, will not be satisfied with money, nor he who loves abundance with its income. This too is vanity. So, what we did the last week is we talked about five ways that Solomon says you can lose everything just like that to try to push you towards God. Hablamos la semana pasada de 5 maneras en que tú puedes perder todo fácilmente, que Salomón nos da, y por eso debemos poner nuestra esperanza en Dios. Yo voy a correr por estos por resumen, y después vamos a buscar al próximo pasaje. Al siguiente pasaje. So Solomon gave us 5 different ways that we can see that you can lose everything quickly. So we're going to run back through those really quick and then we'll go to the next section. Now, here's the first way. Tú puedes perder todo fácilmente por causa del pecado. You can lose everything very quickly because of sin. Si tú recuerdas, habíamos hablado de cómo entrar en la presencia de Dios en adoración como un sabio, y eso es no proferir palabras, sino escuchar para no ofrecer algo que Dios no quiere. We talked about how you enter into worship as a wise man, and we said you don't go in just throwing words around, you listen to what God wants so you don't offer something that He hasn't desired. Pero si tenemos la tendencia de proferir palabras en la presencia de Dios, también vamos a hacer promesas que no podemos cumplir. If we have the tendency to throw around words in God's presence, we might also have the tendency to promise things to Him that we can't keep. We talked about that. Now, here's what God says. Look at Ecclesiastes 5:6. Ecclesiastes 5:6. No permites que tu boca te haga pecar, y no digas delante del mensajero de Dios que fue un error, porque ha de enojarse Dios a causa de tu voz y destruir la obra de tus manos. Ecclesiastes 5:6. Don't let your speech cause you to sin. Don't say in the presence of the messenger of God that it was a mistake. Why should God be angry on account of your voice and destroy the work of your hands? A veces Dios, cuando hacemos votos que no podemos cumplir, Él tiene que enseñarnos una lección. Sometimes when we make promises to God and we're not faithful with what He's given us, He has to teach us a lesson. Sometimes He takes it all away. Here's the second way you can lose it. La segunda manera. Puede ser quitado por opresión. It could be taken away from you by oppression. Look at Ecclesiastes 5:8. Ecclesiastes 5:8. Si ves la opresión del pobre y la negación del derecho, de la justicia en la provincia, no te sorprendas del hecho, porque un oficial vigila sobre otro oficial y hay oficiales superiores sobre ellos. Ecclesiastes 5:8 says, if you see oppression of the poor and denial of justice and righteousness in the province, don't be shocked at the sight. For one official watches over another, and there are higher officials over them. Si tú estás a la parte abajo, en esta pirámide, en la jerarquía, es fácil perder todo, porque esto quiere oprimir esto, que quiere oprimir esto, que quiere oprimir esto. Y al fin tú puedes perderlo todo. So you can lose everything pretty quickly, because if you're at the bottom of the hierarchy and everybody's trying to take something from somebody below them, you lose it. You're the first one that loses, right? A lot of examples of that. Okay, aquí es la tercera razón por la que no hay que poner esperanza en la riqueza de este mundo. Here's the third reason. Puede ser consumido por otros. It could be consumed by other people. Puede ser consumido por los otros. Dijimos la semana pasada, cuando alguien se hace rico, de repente, de pronto, aparece en la familia que no sabían que existían. We said last week that when somebody gets rich, they suddenly have family members that they didn't know they had. Right? Hay muchos que aparecen para consumir. Mira lo que dice Ecclesiastes 5:12. If I look at Ecclesiastes 5:12. Dulce es el sueño del trabajador, coma mucho o coma poco, pero la altura del rico no le permite dormir. Ecclesiastes 5:12 says, the sleep of the working man is pleasant whether he eats little or much, but the full stomach of the rich man does not allow him to sleep. You know why? El rico tiene que proteger lo que tiene de los que quiere consumirlo. Pasa su vida tratando de proteger lo que ha ganado. Nunca puede disfrutar. The rich man doesn't have sleep because he's constantly thinking how he has to protect what he has against everybody else who wants to consume it, and he never even enjoys it. Here's the fourth reason. Aquí es la cuarta razón. Tú puedes perderlo todo por malos negocios. You can lose everything because of bad business. Ecclesiastes 5:13-14 dice esto: hay un grave mal que he visto bajo el sol, las riquezas guardadas por su sueño para su mal, por su dueño para su mal. Cuando esas riquezas se pierden por un mal negocio y él engendra un hijo, no queda nada para mantenerlo. Ecclesiastes 5:13-14, there's a grievous evil which I've seen under the sun. Riches being hoarded by their owner to his hurt. When those riches were lost through a bad investment and he had fathered a son, there was nothing to support him. Hablamos de ese granjero ahí en China que había guardado su dinero toda la vida, había invertido todo en el mercado de valores y perdió todo. Talked about this Chinese farmer, the guy that had saved his whole life. He put it into the stock market, $164,000. Lost that and another $1 million loan, and now owes it all to the government. Happens quickly, doesn't it? Aquí es la quinta razón. Here's the fifth reason. Tú tienes que dejar todo aquí. You leave everything here. I have done many funerals. Been there or done them. Okay? I promise you, there's nothing that goes in the hearse. Is there? Except that body, and that soul's already gone. There's nothing that goes with you. Tú no puedes llevar nada contigo. Y si tú estás viviendo por lo que se puede ganar bajo el sol, la peor noticia en el mundo que tú puedes recibir es que no puedes llevar nada. Imagine the guy that saves his whole life thinking, I'm going to work, 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 get all I can here, gets to the end of his life and realizes you take nothing with you. You will leave it to somebody else. And that's why what Jesus said in Matthew 6:19-21 makes all sense in the world. Por eso lo que Jesús dijo en Mateo 6:19-21 tiene todo el sentido. Él dijo, no os acumuléis tesoros en la tierra donde la polilla y la herrumbre destruyen, y donde ladrones penetran y roban, sino acumulaos tesoros en el cielo, donde ni la polilla ni la herrumbre destruyen, y donde ladrones no penetran ni roban. Porque donde esté tu tesoro, ahí estará también tu corazón. Jesus says this, Matthew 6:9-10, don't store up for yourself treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust destroys, and where thieves do not break in and steal. Watch this, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Jesús está diciendo la misma cosa que Salomón, la misma cosa que Pablo. This is Jesus saying the same thing as Solomon and Paul. Es inseguro poner tu esperanza en la riqueza en este mundo. It's uncertain and it's unsure and it's shaky to put your hope in anything in this world. That's what Jesus said. It can be destroyed. Y él dice, pero tú puedes acumular tesoros en el cielo. But he's inviting you, isn't he? He says, you can store up treasure in heaven.
Yes, sir.
Imagínate. Jesús ofreciéndonos, tú puedes acumular tesoros en el cielo que te van a esperar para cuando llegue. You can wait, you can store up treasure in heaven. They'll be waiting on you there. I'll keep them. Or you can do it here. ¿Cómo acumulamos tesoros en el cielo? How do we accumulate treasure in heaven? We said this last week we ended with this. Dijimos esto la semana pasada. Dice, pero buscad, Mateo 6:33, primero su reino y su justicia, y todas estas cosas os serán añadidas. Matthew 6:33 says, but store up for yourself treasures in heaven. And then he says, well, how do you do that? Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Si queremos acumular tesoros en el cielo, tenemos que buscar primero el reino de Dios. Y si hacemos la voluntad del Rey, si decimos, eso es lo que yo quiero, más que esa vida, él dice, tú vas a tener tesoro en el cielo. If you want to store up treasure in heaven, say this to the king. I want what the king wants from me. If you give the king a blank check with your life and you say, sign it however you want, he said, treasure in heaven. And he says, and I'll give you everything you need to. También él dice, todas estas cosas os serán añadidas. ¿Tú necesitas comida? Buscar el reino. ¿Tú necesitas bebida? Buscar el reino. ¿Tú necesitas ropa? Buscar el reino. Do you need food, clothing, shelter, water? Have you ever been forsaken by God? Has he ever left you where you didn't have what you needed? Now, does everybody know the word counterintuitive? Sorry. Nope. I just said a Spanish word with an English word. Sorry. It's counterintuitive. ¿Todos conocen la palabra contraintuitivo? No? Okay. Es algo que es cierto pero te confunde. This is something that confounds, you know it's true but it confounds you. Because it seems like it's two opposites. Okay? Now, I want to tell you something counterintuitive. Yo quiero decirte algo contraintuitivo. Si tú vives esta vida para acumular tesoros en el cielo, esta vida se convierta en alegría. If you live your life, watch this, listen, if you live your life to store up treasure in heaven, this life will become a joy to you. Y si tú buscas satisfacción en esta vida, en las cosas de esta vida no será una alegría. And if you look for satisfaction in the good things God has given you here, yes, your ultimate satisfaction, you won't find it. It won't be a joy. Now, go to Ecclesiastes 5:18. Ecclesiastes 5:18. He aquí lo que yo he visto que es bueno y conveniente comer, beber y gozarse uno de todo el trabajo en que se afana bajo el sol en los contados días de la vida que Dios le ha dado, porque esta es su, si estás leyendo qué dice, esta es su, ¿están mirando a la Biblia? Es en la Biblia. ¿Qué es la palabra? Su parte, recompensa, ¿sí? ¿Qué es la recompensa? Tener alegría en esta vida. Now, everybody, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to see. Everybody follow? What's that? Good. Amen. Here's what I've seen to be good and fitting: to eat, to drink, and enjoy oneself in all one's labor in which he toils under the sun during the few years of his life which God has given him. Watch this, for this is his what? Reward. Yeah. Recompensa. Parte. Reward. This is his portion. Yeah. Te digo una cosa, si tú vives en relación con Dios a través de Cristo, tú estás esperando una recompensa en cielo. If you live in relationship with God through Jesus, you are looking forward to a reward, are you not? Amen. What is the reward? ¿Qué es la recompensa que esperamos en Cristo? What's the reward you're waiting for? Christ! Right? What? Somebody said something else. Eternal life? Vida eterna? Cristo? He's like, did I say the right thing? Yeah, that's good. Eternal life. Okay, good. Right. Hebrews 11:16. Listen to this. No, you don't have to go there. No tienes que ir aquí, pero Hebreos 11:16 dice, pero en realidad anhelan un patria mejor, es decir, celestial, por lo cual Dios no se avergüenza de ser llamado Dios de ellos, pues les ha preparado una ciudad. ¿Cuántos de ustedes anhelan esa ciudad? Listen, Hebrews 11:16, but as it is, they desire a better country that is a heavenly one. Therefore, God is not ashamed to be called their God, for He has prepared a city for them. How many times do you wake up and say, I just want to go. I'm about ready for that city. They're longing for it. Ellos anhelan una patria mejor. Esa es la recompensa que vamos a recibir, pero yo quiero decirte algo. Cristiano, escúchame muy bien. Si tú vives para esa recompensa, Dios dice, yo tengo otra recompensa para ti en esta vida. Alegría en las buenas cosas que yo te he dado. If you live for that reward, I want that more than I want my life. God says, that's not the only reward I'll give you, Christian. I will give you joy in the good things I've given you here. Amen. But you won't find it any other way. Si nuestra mayor satisfacción no se encuentra en esta vida, es decir, si mi satisfacción, si mi última satisfacción no depende en las cosas de esta vida, ni posesiones, ni riquezas, ni comida, ni bebida, ni mi familia, ni nada, sino mi esperanza es puesto en Dios. Él dice, por causa de eso, yo te voy a dar la capacidad de disfrutar las buenas cosas que yo te he dado. Pero fuera de eso, tú no vas a disfrutar nada. Here's what God says. If your greatest satisfaction is not here, if you find it in God, He said, I will give you satisfaction and joy in the good things I've given you here. Amen. But that's the only way. Otherwise, you'll only find tension in your family. You'll only find depression in your job. You'll only find a lackluster life. He says, I want you to have joy in what I've given you, but stop misusing my gifts. Listen to Ecclesiastes 5:19. Mira Ecclesiastes 5:19. Igualmente a todo hombre a quien Dios ha dado riquezas y bienes, lo ha capacitado también para comer de ellos, para recibir su recompensa y regocijarse en su trabajo. Esto es don de Dios. Ecclesiastes 5:19. Listen, furthermore, as for every man to whom God has given riches and wealth, He has also empowered him to eat from them and to receive His reward and rejoice in His labor. This is the gift of God. Yo quiero que veas que es Dios que tiene que darnos la capacidad de disfrutar sus buenas cosas. I just want you to note here, please note this. It is God who has to give you the capacity to enjoy what He's given you. God does that. Y Dios da la capacidad a los que no esperan en esas cosas para su mayor satisfacción, sino en Él. God gives the capacity to enjoy the good things He's given us to those who don't hope in those things, but in Him. Yes. Es cuando yo no necesito estas cosas para contentarme que realmente las disfruto. It's when I don't need those things to make me content that I really begin to enjoy them. That's a reward. God says, you're waiting for a reward, but I got one for you now if you put your hope in me. I'll give you joy in the good things I've given you in your life. Otherwise, no. Look at Philippians 4:11-12. Mira Filipenses 4:11-12. Yo quiero que veas esto. Filipenses 4:11-12. Esto es como habla un cristiano. This is how a Christian talks. I thought about this as I was reading this and thought, if I got locked in a Bolivian jail, would I say this? Legit, because I thought I was going to. Yo recuerdo una vez en Bolivia cuando estuvimos detrás de la puerta para salir y yo pensaba, ellos me van a guardar aquí. Yo estaba pensando, ¿puedo decir esto? Filipenses 4. Look what he says. Philippians 4:11-12. No que hable porque tenga escasez, pues he aprendido a contentarme cualquier sea mi situación. Sé vivir en pobreza, sé vivir en prosperidad, en todo y por todo. He aprendido el secreto tanto de estar saciado como de tener hambre, de tener abundancia como de sufrir necesidad. Yo he aprendido. Paul says, Philippians 4:11-12, I don't speak from want. I have learned to be content in whatever circumstances I am. Man, can you say that? He says, I know how to get along with humble means. I know how to live in prosperity. In any and in every circumstance, watch this, I have learned the secret of being filled and going hungry, both of having abundance and suffering need. Now here's the question. What's the secret Paul learned? Aquí es la pregunta. ¿Qué es el secreto que Pablo aprendió? Can anybody read Philippians 4:13? Filipenses 4:13? Thank you, man. En español. Yeah.
Todo lo puedo en Cristo que me fortalece.
Wow. What's the secret Paul learned? My situation is not the source of my ultimate satisfaction. Jesus is. He's my strength. And because of that, I'm content. In whatever situation. Pablo dijo, mi fuerza, mi contentamiento, mi satisfacción no depende en mi situación y por eso yo soy contento en cualquier sea mi situación. Es en Cristo. And listen, if you can get there, God says, I want you to enjoy the good things I've given you in this life. Because then you're not misusing them. Look at 1 Timothy 6:17 again. This is the verse we started with. Mira, 1 Timoteo 6:17 de nuevo. Ese es el versículo con que comenzamos. No leímos todo el verso y ahora vamos a leerlo. We didn't read the whole verse. This time we're going to read the whole thing. Look what it says. A los ricos en este mundo enséñales que no sean altaneros ni pongan su esperanza en la incertidumbre de las riquezas, sino en Dios, mira esto, el cual nos da abundantemente todas las cosas para que las disfrutemos, pero solo las disfrutamos cuando ponemos nuestra esperanza en Él. Listen to what he says. 1 Timothy 6:17. He says, instruct those who are rich in this present world not to be conceited or to fix their hope on the uncertainty of riches, but on God. Then look what he says, who richly supplies us with all things to enjoy, but it's only those who put their hope in God that will enjoy them. Amen. Es cuando usamos sus buenas cosas, sus dones, sus dádivas de la manera correcta que las disfrutamos. It's only when we use His gifts in the right way that we begin to enjoy them. Él nos ha dado estas buenas cosas para guiarnos a Él. Para ver a través de estas cosas como los rayos al sol. Para ver a Dios a través de las cosas que Él nos ha dado. He has not given us His gifts to be the end of our satisfaction, but literally to lead us to Him. Now I want to ask you a question. I'm going to use an illustration for this. What is this? ¿Qué es esto? Alright, what does Hebrews 4:12 say about this? ¿Qué dice Hebreos 4:12 sobre la Biblia? Hebreos 4:12, ¿qué dice? The Word of God is living and active. What does it say? Sharper than any double-edged sword. Así que esta es una espada. ¿Sí? The Bible says, Hebreos 4:12 dice que la palabra de Dios es vivo, eficaz, más cortante que cualquier espada de dos filos. ¿Sí? Así que esta es una espada. ¿Sí? Alright, this is a sword. Alright, now, Ben, how'd you get poison ivy on your face? I want you to tell us. Okay. Ben estaba usando su machete allá detrás de la casa para cortar las hierbas, ¿sí? Pero fuiste más allá de la cerca al bosque, ¿sí? Okay. Alright. Ben was cutting down weeds in his backyard with his new machete, but he went a little further into the woods and got poison ivy. Alright? Now, I want you to imagine Ben says, why do I need a machete? I got a sword, man. Quiero que tú te imagines, ¿por qué necesito un machete? Yo tengo mi espada. Y tú ves a Ben ahí en el bosque, al otro lado de la cerca, tratando de cortar las hierbas con la Biblia. ¿Sí? Haciendo esto. Can you imagine Ben back there thinking, why do I need a machete? I'll just use my Bible. And he's out there trying to cut weeds down, right? With his Bible. Right? Because this is a sword. And you come and you say, Ben, what are you doing? He says, I'm cutting down weeds with my sword. Tú dirías a Ben, no es una espada de esa manera, no estás usándolo conforme a su propósito. ¿Sí? You would say to Ben, it's not a sword like that, it's like a sword that cuts spiritually. You're not using it according to its purpose, right? When Ben got done cutting down the weeds with his Bible, you think he'd be tired? ¿Crees que Ben terminaría cansado? ¿Sí? Probablemente frustrado, tal vez vacío. He'd probably end up tired, frustrated, maybe even a little empty. Now here's the thing. The same thing happens when you use God's gifts, but not according to His purpose. He gave you those gifts to lead to Him, not to be an end in themselves. La misma cosa nos pasa cuando usamos las buenas cosas que Dios nos ha dado para encontrar nuestra mayor satisfacción, cuando Él nos ha dado estas cosas por el propósito de guiarnos a Él. You know, have you ever wondered, think about this. If you're like frustrated in your work, or in your marriage, or in your family, or maybe just in life in general, have you ever thought maybe it's because you're using God's gifts the wrong way? You're looking for satisfaction in them and they were never meant to provide that. It's not their purpose. Podemos encontrar frustración, cansancio, tensión en la vida, en la familia, en todo, si usamos estas buenas cosas que Dios nos ha dado de la manera incorrecta. Here's the remedy. If you're living your life like that, let's look at Ecclesiastes 5:20. Aquí es el remedio si estás viviendo de esa manera. Ecclesiastes 5:20. Pues él no se acordará mucho de los días de su vida, porque Dios lo mantiene ocupado con alegría en su corazón. Ecclesiastes 5:20. For he will not often consider the years of his life, because God keeps him occupied with the gladness of his heart. Cuando pensamos tanto en la recompensa de Dios, ponemos nuestra esperanza ahí. Él nos mantiene ocupados con alegría aquí. When we put our hope on God and we put our satisfaction there, it says God maintains us with joy here. That's counterintuitive. We think if I'm going to be happy here, I have to find my satisfaction in all this stuff. Just pile it on, pile it on, pile it on. God said, look away from that stuff. You look away from that, you'll finally be happy in your marriage. Así que, solo cuando ponemos nuestra esperanza en Él, que realmente encontramos alegría en esta vida. Now let's end with this. Go over to Ecclesiastes chapter 6. Mira conmigo a Ecclesiastes 6. Here's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to ask us to read this together, and I want you to consider the other way you could try to live your life. Yo quiero que leamos esto juntos. Yo quiero que consideres la otra manera de vivir tu vida. God says, if you want to look here to try to find your joy, let me tell you what it'll be like. Ecclesiastes 6, del 1 al 2, mira esto. Ecclesiastes 6, 1 and 2, look at this. Hay un mal que he visto bajo el sol y muy común entre los hombres. Un hombre a quien Dios le ha dado o ha dado riquezas, bienes, honores, y nada le falta a su alma de todo lo que desea, pero que Dios no le ha capacitado para disfrutar de ellos, porque un extraño los disfruta. Esto es vanidad y penosa aflicción. Ecclesiastes 6, 1 and 2. There is an evil which I've seen under the sun. It is prevalent among men. A man to whom God has given riches and wealth and honor, so that his soul lacks nothing of all that he desires, yet God has not empowered him to eat from them, for a foreigner enjoys them. This is a vanity and a severe affliction. Esto es, yo quiero decirte, déjame resumir. Tú puedes tener todo y tener nada. Si Dios no te da la capacidad de disfrutar las buenas cosas en esta vida, no importa cuántas cosas tú tienes. Listen to this. You can have everything and have nothing. That's this guy. It doesn't matter how many of God's gifts you have if God says, I'm not going to let you enjoy them. Listen to how stark it is right here in Ecclesiastes 6, 3 to 6. Mira cuán grave es aquí, Ecclesiastes 6, 3 a 6. Si un hombre engendra 100 años y vive muchos años, por muchos que sean sus años, si su alma no se ha saciado de cosas buenas, tampoco haya sepultura, entonces digo, mejor es el abortivo que él. Listen to this. Solomon says, if a man fathers 100 children and lives many years, however many they may be, but his soul is not satisfied with good things, and he does not even have a proper burial, then I say, better the abortive one than he. The one who was aborted. Salomón dice, tú puedes vivir 1000 años, tú puedes engendrar 100 años, pero si Dios no te da la capacidad de disfrutar tu vida aquí, mejor es el abortivo que nunca vio el sol de vida. Solomon says, listen, I need you to understand this. It doesn't matter if you live 1,000 years or 2,000 years or you have 100 kids and you have all the stuff in the world, because Solomon knew what all that was like. He said, if God doesn't let you enjoy it, it is the baby who was never born is better than you. Salomón termina con esto en Ecclesiastes 6:8. Pues qué ventaja tiene el sabio sobre el necio, qué ventaja tiene el pobre que sabe comportarse entre los vivientes. What advantage then does the wise man have over the rich, or over the fool? Ecclesiastes 6:8. What advantage does the poor have? Todo el trabajo del hombre es para su boca, sin embargo su apetito no se sacia. Versículo 9, mejor es lo que ven los ojos que lo que el alma desea. También esto es vanidad y correr tras el viento. It says, Ecclesiastes 6:9, listen to this. Better is what he sees than what his soul desires. This is also vanity and running after the wind. Mira esto. Para los que buscan satisfacción en las cosas de este mundo, su mayor y última satisfacción, no importa lo que sus ojos ven, siempre su alma va a querer más. This is what Solomon's saying. For those who want to be satisfied here in this life, he says it doesn't matter whatever your eyes see, your soul will always want more. It will. Put your eyes on it, doesn't matter. It'll always want more. I think God honestly wants for us to enjoy the good things that He's given us in this life. Yo creo que Dios quiere que disfrutemos de las buenas cosas que Él nos ha dado en esta vida. I think He wants that for us. He says, now here's the way to do it. Put your hope in God, and not in that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Pon tu esperanza en Dios y no en estas cosas. Déjame leer una vez más 1 Timoteo 6:17. This is one more time, 1 Timothy 6:17. A los ricos en este mundo enséñales que no sean altaneros ni pongan su esperanza en la incertidumbre de las riquezas, sino en Dios, el cual nos da abundantemente todas las cosas para que las disfrutemos. 1 Timothy 6:17. To the rich, instruct them not to be conceited or to put their hope on the uncertainty of riches, but on God, who gives to us abundantly all things that we might enjoy. Let's pray that God will make us the type of people that live for the treasure of heaven and find this life to be a joy. Vamos a orar que Dios nos haga la gente